Hey guys, welcome to episode 168 of 4PlayerAnimecast. We are diving straight into the 2021 spring season. It is the 10th of April, 10:16 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time over in the United States. And I am here as your host, Spire, along with my compatriots, Near,
Hello.
Dark,
Hi.
and of course, Toast. Toast is dead.
Hello? What? Hello? It's on?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, as I just mentioned, we are getting straight on into the spring 2021 season after, go over our 2 weeks. Surprisingly enough, this season there seems to be quite a breadth of series that everybody kind of wants to cover in each of their own sort of spheres, right? That they like, which is pretty rare for any given season, right? Usually it's something like, maybe Dark and I have a bunch of series that we want to watch, and then Nier or Toast kind of only have like a couple of series that they're kind of interested in, or vice versa. But this season, there's something for everyone apparently. So, anyways, Dark, how have your past 2 weeks been?
They've been pretty good.
Yeah.
Kind of been keeping up with, well, I pretty much finished off like everything from last season, and now I'm like starting stuff from this season.
Mhm.
So not still even now, like there's still not a whole lot I feel like that's aired that we talked about. So
Right.
seems like there are some that are coming out relatively late speaking, like but My Hero Academia season 5, that's out. What else do you need? You know?
That's true. All you need with anime is My Hero Academia and Demon Slayer. I think those
My
two are
Hero
the only.
Academia, Demon Slayer, like maybe like the 87th Dragon Ball series that like fucking sucks for like 3 years and then like maybe gets good.
That's true.
And then like and yeah, you're the greatest anime fan of all time. You know everything you need to know.
Those are the only anime that actually exists in this
Yeah,
world.
there's
Sorry,
nothing else like to see. There's nothing else to know. You've learned everything.
pretty much. Anyways, so been wrapping up. So relatively active, considering everything's kind of been piled up in these past couple of seasons with everybody slowly coming out of the pandemic. What about you, Nier? Past 2 weeks?
I'm not coming out of the pandemic, but they've been alright. Playing Metaverse. I don't know if I mentioned it on the last podcast, but the new expansion came out. So that's been fun.
What deck are you using?
I've been mostly using the Evo Blood deck list. But yeah, the new expansion is pretty cool. A lot of new archetypes, which is always fun. Especially since like last expansion, it was all just like remnants of like uh, what is it called, Shadows over Vale. Um, so yeah, a bit more refreshing this time. Although I'm sure once the meta settles, it'll suck ass again. But
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
Other than that, watched a couple new things. The new Godzilla series. It's pretty good. Although because because Netflix has streaming rights to that one, um, the people that are like trying to speed sub it, suck. Like they're really bad.
Surprise!
Yeah, I think you mean Godzilla is pretty fucking amazing. Like fucking like
Yeah,
so fucking
super
good.
super heckin' awesome. But yeah, so I have to wait quite a few days when those episodes come out, for like an actual subgroup to finish their subs. Um, you know, back to the old days, I guess. But
right.
yeah, other than that, watched a couple other things. Super Cub, which we'll be talking about. Um, and I watched like 10 minutes of like Dynazenon. But yeah, that's about it for me.
Whoever's subbing that also fucking sucks.
Yeah, not great.
Oh, all right. What about you, Toast?
Shout out to my homies Okokoro for playing Cuphead for 14 hours. They're at that Satan. Was Satan the final boss of Cuphead?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Well,
why you got to schedule a podcast on the 11th? You should have started after the 12th. That's when the real good stuff comes out. Like the actual shows come out on the 11th and the 12th. So like, what are you trying to do here?
We delayed the podcast enough as is. You need to do what you need to do.
What did I do? Yeah. So Spy, you like you like VNs, right?
Sure.
How's Musicus?
Musicus. Oh, I haven't checked it out yet. I really do need to check it out. But I mean, I've always been. How do I say this? It's like Overdrive visual novels, as cheesy as they are, have always held a pretty good spot in my heart, just because of how they use all the characters to kind of just because it's always like the entire group is kind of doing something, and I'm always kind of a fan of that because it tends to involve more complex character interactions, more organic character interactions, and juggling all the characters together. But one thing that did upset me, and I believe I said this before, was when they were introducing Musicus, right? The PV or the way that it was advertised was like from the creators of Gogo Nippon. I'm like, guys, you can't do this to me. Guy, just come on, man. At least say like Kira Kira or like
They know the market, dude.
Yeah, no. I know Gogo Nippon is their biggest selling ship because it was one of the first visual novels on Steam. But just no. 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 I've literally like, you know how people make the X with their like arms / hands? No. Just no. So that was I do need to get to Musicus, but unfortunately I haven't gotten to it.
What about my married cousin's Need for Seed? How's that one?
I've seen that one floating around the interwebs. I am not going to touch that one.
Why not? It's by Miel. What have they done?
I don't think they've done anything that I would bother reading.
Really?
And also the thing is,
they've done what is this? Oh, that one. Oh shit! Wait, hold on. Is that the? Yeah, nice. Okay, never mind. I can't say it on this stream.
Good. Okay. So, anyways, anything else, Toast?
Suise's 4th live is in 3 days, 4 days.
Okay. So more all life.
Oh, I got Jollibee. It's pretty good.
Okay.
You should eat some.
And living the stereotype.
Anyways, that's it for Toast. And as for me, I got my shot yesterday, my first shot with
How you feeling?
The arm is a little bit the arm is a little bit sore, but it doesn't interfere with any like actual exercise or anything that I'm doing, so that's
not yet. Wait till you start feeling the Rona.
the Rona, yeah, with the second shot. Yeah. Unfortunately, I did again get the Moderna vaccines, so my second shot will be a month later, May 6th or so. So that'll be a long wait. But after that, wait.
Damn.
Yeah,
I got Pfizer, bud.
Well, fuck you, buddy. But yeah, other than that, I haven't been up too much.
Nier, did you get one too?
How am I supposed to get a vaccine when the United States is buying all of them?
Literally all of the
Maybe you
vaccines.
should have gotten. Maybe you people should have gotten a little bit more sick, and you could
yeah,
have gotten
Nier.
some.
Maybe
Yeah,
you should
Nier.
just be American.
Maybe our country should.
Maybe,
just have
maybe you should have
really
just like
buy.
never listened to any like fucking regulations or rules, buddy.
And you're the
Yeah, who's the fucking dummy now?
Don't worry, Nier. We got
Playing
your
with
back. It's called
medication.
group immunity.
Yeah, we'll just have a bunch of vaccinated Americans jump over the border to Canada, and that'll provide the herd immunity. But
Maybe you shouldn't have lived in Canada.
maybe you should just have been born American.
Maybe
Sorry.
if you paid for your shots, buddy.
Anyways, that was so I did get the shot. That not been up too much. Where I am currently, it's just the weather's turned from depressingly, bone-chillingly cold to wow, why am I even wearing long sleeve shirts at all? In the span of exactly, I want to say 1.5 days. So that was pretty interesting. Been playing through Yukikoi Melt, another visual novel, winter themed. So have
Why?
a bunch of other
It's spring right now, right? Why are you playing a winter theme?
I've said this like at least 4 times by now, but I really, really like winter and Christmas themes for
You
no
like winter
reason.
so much. Why didn't it move? Isn't Canada always? Wasn't it Canada who had the perpetual winter?
No.
that reminds me of what Toast just said reminds me of the. Have you guys heard of the one Jim Carrey skit about Canada, right? Where it's like where he talks about how whenever people talk to him about Canada, they always come to, oh, it must be tough having always winter there. And he's like, yes. Whenever, every day I have to chip out my igloo and survive in the harshness of winter.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's actually what Nier does every day.
Well, I mean, if he's that far away from civilization each time, he has lower chances of catching the virus. So good job, Nier, and it is working.
True. You don't need the shots. Like it's too cold for the virus to survive.
Yeah, that's true. It'll just die off.
Yeah.
Or it'll storm it.
It's what is it? It's airborne, right? It can't cross water either.
It's true. And you have to invite it into your home.
That's true. It's like a vampire.
You can't
really
enter.
hate garlic.
Yeah. So Session said that he was like, find the most redneck place closest to your border, and maybe they got walk-ins. It was pretty funny because I was talking with somebody, and they were saying how on military bases, these days pretty much military bases always have extra shots because everybody on military bases tend to be of higher priority, so everybody got shots earlier. And so what happens is that they always have extra shots. So at like 3 p.m., they always send out like a message to everybody on the network. They're like, yeah, we have extra shots, first come, first serve, just everybody walk. So everybody just drives to the military base to get their shots. But yeah, other than that, I haven't been up too much. So other than, watching some of the new series that came out, reading visual novel, I should really get back into light novels. I don't know, man. They seem pretty shitty recently, but whatever.
What's the strongest light novel in flotation right now?
The Bible.
The Bible.
But isn't the Bible real? It can't be a light novel.
That's what you think.
Technically, it's not an isekai. It's just the power fantasy.
Yeah.
But anyways, with that being said, let us move on to our reviews. I am up first here with Dragon Goes House Hunting. Forget what Dragon Io Kao or so Dragon buys a house, or Dragon buys a house essentially. So I got thrown out of heaven. It's absolutely this guy. Well, is the heaven the original world though? I guess. I mean, it's not. The Bible is different from the Silmarillion, right? Because it's like in the Silmarillion they have an actual like they have party time in heaven before. Oh, Eden. Yeah, okay, that's true. Because in like the Silmarillion with like Tolkien, at least they have like a chapter or like a prologue dedicated to like party time. But it's like with Bible, it's just like, hey, fuck you, you're out of there. But I guess that's also true with isekais these days, right? You just get like one taste of Japan, and then suddenly you're just getting hit by a truck the next
Yeah.
second. Yeah,
You
that's
get
true.
you get one you get like 5 steps toward the
Yeah, exactly. It's like I'm a
Gandhi.
businessman. Bye, you're dead. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. I guess we didn't care about background. But yeah, anyways, Dragon goes house hunting. This is done by Signal MD. This Signal MD, one of the companies that are kind of under the general sort of what is it? The production IG Signal MD kind of that branch, right?
Yeah.
I forget what the umbrella company is. It's like it's IG Port. Sorry, so IG Port, which is the parent company of like various stuff, like Production IG being the main anime company, but they have like Signal MD and they have they like bought some stuff from Sunrise and Zebek, right? Zebek before they went like bankrupt or something, right?
I think so.
They had a bunch of different stuff, but this is one of their anime, and it's actually like a full episode. It's not a short. But so the dragon is just like he's a coward or it's a it's like a he's a coward and doesn't really want to do anything. Um he goes around, he gets chased out by his parents, tries to find a home where he can kind of live in and, live his slow life or whatever. But he gets chased around by a bunch of people who either, don't have a house to give him or want to freaking kill him because he's a dragon. And then he chances upon an elf who's sort of like the demon lord in a sense, but he's also like in the business of like renting out houses to different monsters and stuff like that. So it's a very interesting proposition, and they kind of just walk around. And the rest of I've only seen episode 1 so far, but the rest of the series seems to be kind of very episodic. Them again making the journey and kind of being chased around or hitting upon adventures or you know being like, oh, do you maybe we can build a house here, or how do you feel about this? But probably failing to do make an actual house for the dragon in the end, and probably maybe picking up side characters along the way. It's
You know what my one gripe about this series is?
What?
Look at that dragon's hands and legs. Gross.
I mean, they're not trying to make him a cool dragon. They're not trying to make him a cool
Look
dragon.
at those human-like hands and those developed calves on that dragon's feet. It's gross.
It's a pretty fatty, like whatever, not cool dragon, but that's the point of the series. Anyways, the rest of it.
What's the term? The term that floats around nowadays. Is it himbo? Is that the term?
What?
I don't think that refers to the physical appearance. That does not refer to the physical.
Talking about?
I don't think that refers to the physical appearance.
I don't think that refers to dragons either.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, I did. Oh, going over the audio visuals. The audio is thing worth mentioning. The visuals are pretty scarce. I mean, it has some of the animations like where it's blowing up people. Obviously, that part's smooth because that's not. It's whatever. It's just like a pillar of fire kind of thing. Other than that, it has pretty scanty, like kind of tier 1.5, tier 2 studio level budgeting, animation frames, as expected. From a series that's kind of probably being relatively casually done by Signal MD, which is one of the smaller studios under the IG Port name. So I didn't expect too much from it, but I think what's funny is that the comedy from, as you guys might have guessed from the premise, is pretty based around like, oh, what about here? Can't you fit in here? It's like, no, I can't. Like, why I'm a freaking dragon? Or like, it's like, I want to kill you. It's like, but who, me? I'm just like a weakling. Why do you want to kill? Like these sorts of very like Buketsukomi kind of like the dragon pretending to be playing dumb, right? I mean, he is dumb, but playing dumb is the point of the comedy, and this is sorts of like non sequitur level of comedies, right? So I think that sort of like, like non sequitur, random kind of like sudden type of comedy works decently with the scanty animation. I'm not justifying the fact that there's scanty animation, but I think it works decently with the type of comedy this brings. So I did like it quite a bit. I'm honestly looking forward to this a decent amount just because I do like the slower pace, along with the episodic comedy, and hope it doesn't just do the whole like, oh, these are dwarves, they do X, or like these are Selkies, they do Y, these are elves, they do blah 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 blah. I hope it kind of balances out both, the characters coming in and rotating in and out while still doing the whole like feudal fantasy like D&D stat page kind of. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had. It's not too much to talk about in terms of the series, and it's only one episode in, so it's kind of whatever. That sounds like you have such high hopes. Well, I'm not saying like I don't have like high standards for the series. I'm just saying that the bar that I set for the series, I hope that'll. I think I'm relatively certain that'll like, hop over it. Is sort of. But yeah, that's pretty much what I had. Dragon Goes House Hunting. If you like slower pace, kind of like episodic, mild slapstick stuff. I'm not saying it's going to be the anime of the season or the year, but it's an okay watch. So check this out.
Why are you afraid of commitment, Spire?
I don't know if I'm afraid of commitment. I'm just saying that it's a series that you could watch. Dragon Ioko or Dragon Goes House Hunting. So check that out.
Do you think the Demon Lord being a real estate agent is a commentary?
Social commentary, yeah. But he's also like depicted sort of as the anti-hero, and you don't know what to deal with it. It's all social commentary. Maybe. But
who is the most popular real estate agent in fiction? Was it Peggy Hill or was it Marge?
I didn't even know Marge was a real estate agent.
Wasn't she?
I don't
I
know.
didn't even know Marge had a job.
I don't think she does.
Yeah, I think you're. Are you sure you're not like just thinking of Peggy Hill? Like,
wasn't she? Wasn't she a real estate agent for some time? I don't remember.
Maybe in like an episode or something, but like.
Yeah, Simpsons Marge Realtor. Okay, yeah, I remember that episode. It was cool.
just an episode.
Just like when she had that job selling pretzels.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Anyways, so that was it for me for Dragon Goes House Hunting. And with that, we'll move on to Toast.
What? Already? Okay.
Yes.
So you said sparse animation, right?
Oh yes, I knew you were gonna come to this.
You know what has even less of budget than TQ at first glance?
TQ has
Gokushufudou. What is this called?
Gokushufudou.
Gokuraku? No,
Yeah.
Gokushufudou. What does it mean again?
The Way of the Househusband.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. Check it out.
It is.
Oh, right. Okay. All right.
Moving on.
So apparently there was a drama made last year.
Yeah, live action.
Which
it was pretty popular.
Out. So
I want to actually watch that too.
I guess that's why that's why JC staff was like, "Damn, we got to get in on this," and made a series of it. It's 30 episodes.
No, I mean the PV, the anime PV, not anime PV, but it's like a general sort of like promotion for the series / brand in general. That was anime. Actually, I think came out before even the live action and everything came out. So it's been a pretty popular series all the while, and the live action only made it more popular because I think it sold pretty well.
So yeah, it's about this guy, Immortal Tatsu. He became a house husband because he was saved by this one chick. That one time, he's like, damn, I'm gonna marry this chick, and he did.
Surprise!
He's voiced by Kenjiro Suda. I hope you all know who that is.
Ore no tan.
What? Who's that?
It's fucking what a Japanese Sentouin is like most infamous wise. It's my turn, right?
It's Horobi no Burst Stream, man. Or do you even like Yu-Gi-Oh! Spire?
That is literally okay. Like Ore no tan is literally what every whenever Suda Kenjiro does an interview, that is what they get him to say.
Not
Does someone who
Kyojin,
truly
Jiggy
likes
Saicho.
Yu-Gi-Oh listen to anything other than an English dub? Sir.
The English stuff is pretty good.
Where was I? Yeah, so it's about Mortal Tatsu, and he's like, damn, I quit being Yakuza, now I'm a house husband, but lo and behold, well, you can't, what's the famous line from Yakuza 0? Well, once you step into the Yakuza club, you can never come out the same.
Yeah, I don't think that's the
Something
quote.
like that. I don't know. I didn't play Yakuza 0 yet.
Yakuza 0, it's not even like once you're in, you can never leave. It's like once you leave, you can never come back.
Yeah.
I thought Toast was about to start singing like the DK song, the DK rap or something. Like, what are we talking about here?
Well, no, it's the same thing with John Wick, right? Where John Wick's like, once you get out, you can't come back in, and
once you get in, you can never get out.
Yeah, right.
But that's not what
I like
Yakuza was. Yakuza was the opposite because they kick them out. They're like, you realize you can never come back no matter what.
Yeah, so that, and then so now he's a house husband, and he does all his house husband chores are done with a Yakuza-ish flair, and it's like, haha, it's a 4-coma kind of gag manga thing. Apparently, it's on Netflix, licensed by Netflix, and it says 5 episodes, but it's actually 30. You can't lie to me you can't lie like that, Netflix.
Also, can I just say the premise I like quite a bit, and people know me. I've been a fan of this sort of series. Okay, I'm sorry, but I've been a fan of this series.
About you anymore.
I've been a fan of this series for quite a bit, but
since when did you like Yakuza?
I don't like Yakuza. I just like the series.
I was a huge fan of the Yakuza.
Yeah, I just joined the gang recently. Sorry, guys. But the premise is good and it works well with stuff, and even in this sort of format, it's works well. But it's kind of, for me, in a sense, it's kind of disappointing to see this level of PowerPoint level of animation. You know what I mean?
What are you talking about? I like the PowerPoint. That's the charm of it.
This is almost like a web. It's like an ONA level, right? It's like an ONA or
So to be fair to the series, from what I've read, apparently in Japan, it is marketed as a motion comic. It is not marketed as an anime at all. Apparently, it being marketed as an anime is entirely on Netflix. In the West.
It says ONA on Wikipedia.
So it's pretty okay. So if it's okay, that makes sense.
It contains animation. What else are you gonna call it?
That's true. That's all it is.
What it looks like is it's got you got a scene, right? And in every scene, there's only one thing moving in that scene at any given time. So sometimes it's a mouth. Sometimes it's only a mouth. Sometimes they shake their leg a little. Everything else is a static picture, and you know what? I'm okay with that
Okay.
because it doesn't really detract from the series' charm at all. Good on them. It's five episodes on Netflix, like what, 16, 17, 16-ish minutes each, but it's 30 episodes total. And apparently it's getting a season 2, so it just cuts off right in the middle of stuff.
God, I love Netflix.
Yeah, it's what else can I say? It's a good series. It's characters are likable. You know, there's supposed to be these every male character in there is supposed to be this big bad tough yakuza, but it's like, oh damn, they have this heartwarming house husband side to them. Like Tatsu does embroidery and can make clothes and cooks and stuff, and it's like, wow, he's the envy of all the other housewives in the neighborhood, and then what? His boss has a was it a terrier dog, and it's his baby. And it's like, that's cool, I guess. I guess it goes to show you that not all yakuzas are bad in the end. Or the way of the yakuza is equal to the way of the house husband.
Well,
So it's a
I don't know. I don't know if
honorable
it's
profession, I guess.
I don't know if it's trying to.
Yakuza come in all shapes and sizes.
Yeah,
Not
I don't
okay
know
to
whether
judge.
I don't know whether it's trying to actually run a proper commentary on.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I've seen Yakuza 0. I was about to say Kiryu Koko. What's his name? Kazuma Kiryu. Kazuma
Kiryu
Kiryu.
Koko's a great guy.
Well, why do you think she's called Kiryu Koko? Because she likes Kazuma Kiryu. Like everyone knows this. You can't fool us. Where am I going with this?
Any last words?
Yeah, despite Spider's complaints about the jank, I don't know. It doesn't take away from the series at
Well,
all.
the jank was only because I assumed that it would be like a fully done kind of
It
thing.
does look like you know those promotional.
Yeah, the light novels for promotion. Yeah, exactly. No, that's what I was getting at.
I mean,
But if it's like but if they were like coming in fully with the intention that it's like it's just like a freaking series of and it's like I'm fine with that because then that's like a standard, right? Because that's why. But anyways,
I don't know. For all the people complaining like, oh, I'm never gonna watch a show because it looks like crap, then it's like, then you never liked this show in the first place because the source material is actually pretty good.
Yeah, the source material is pretty good.
I mean, I understand like the idea of like it would have been nice to get like a full, like, you know, pretty cozy like series, but
I know it's
I don't
still
know.
good
I mean,
regardless.
it's probably still fine for what the material is. So
Yeah, it's fine.
Right.
For
No.
Como gag.
No,
manga
yeah,
thing,
I did mention that at the beginning where I was like, okay, well, even with this stuff, it's still like fine, sort of like it's like fine. I just like assumed slightly differently.
Yeah. I don't know. You check it. Yeah, check it out. It's really good.
Okay.
No real big complaints here. Follows the source material pretty well, I guess, but that's because they basically animated an actual manga instead of an anime. But well, whatever, I can deal with that. What else? Yeah, it's good. Well, check it out. It's on Netflix. Wait for season 2.
All right.
The end.
With that, thank you, Toast, for covering Gokushufudou. Definitely one of the series that I think most people, I guess, in the know at least.
Hold on. What Sion says I'm defending Berserk 2016? Nier, what was Berserk 2016 again? Was that the one that was all 3D?
that was a really shitty one.
Yes.
I don't think that.
That
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
look
a
like
different.
the manga. That's just 3D.
Yeah,
That's being jank.
I'll back Toast up on this one. I'm gonna say that like the way that I criticized Gokushufudou at the beginning of Toast's section was a little bit out of hand because I assumed a different standard from the one that was actually being used. I I assume that it would be like a full blown like anime production studio going in and making this sort of fuller series. But if it's coming in as just like the ONA as it is, and just kind of doing it like a simpler representation, I'm okay with that. But it's definitely properly representative. It's not just like Berserk 2016 was another dimension.
Nia
And
Beer?
it wasn't a good
The
dimension.
third even.
Yeah.
Listen, if you want to see like the pinnacle of that, you watch the greatest series of all time, X-Arm. Okay.
I mean, yeah. If you compare to that, yeah, because they're both 3D, but this one's 2D, so it gets a pass.
Anyways, thank you, Toast, for covering Gokushufudou. And with that, oh yeah, and if you do like, the premise of sort of like the wacky contrarian premise ish of the Yakuza thug kind of settling in and doing cutesy kind of house husband stuff and him dealing with everyday life, then I guess check it out. And with that, come to Nier. What do you have for us today?
Wow. I watched Super Cub.
Super Cub.
Yeah. Which is a what is this? Studio Kai series. They've done pretty much nothing.
I feel like I remember the name though. Have they only done like in betweens? This is their first main production, is what you're saying, right?
Apparently they worked on Uma Musume season 2. I don't know why only season 2.
Well, that happens. It happens sometimes.
Yeah, they seem to have helped with PSO2
Yeah, it's mainly in
episode
between.
Oracle, and they did like some weird ONA.
That doesn't bode well
So
I
this
mean,
is one of their first main sort of series.
I think so, yeah.
First couple of, yeah.
And I kind of like it. It's pretty chill.
You know what I thought? I was like, I'm gonna make more references to other stuff as I got here, but it's like, how during the preview we're like, is this fucking Tomohiro with motorcycles? Dear
Yeah.
God! But it's like it's better because it's like better than Tomohiro because it's actually quieter.
Yeah.
Like I didn't think I would be saying that, but it's like because it's quieter than Tomohiro, it's actually better.
Yeah, it lets you take it all in.
Yeah.
So Super Cub is a series about a high school girl named Koguma.
Mhm.
That's it. That's her entire name, Koguma, apparently. It starts off, the first like 5 minutes of this series is literally
great,
just
yeah.
her getting ready for school. Super slow. You know, like landscape shots, her like putting butter on her toast, getting the rice for her lunch. Very, very slow, like step by step.
Also, everything's in grayscale, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, super, super muted color palette. Like very melancholic.
Yes.
And as she's getting to school, she's riding her bike. And then it's like, yeah, there's like this incline on the way to school. And she gets really, winded, trying to bike all the way there. And then, it keeps going. This super, super like quiet, mellow, like just going through like, yeah, she like went to school. And then as she's going back, she spots a scooter. And she's like, wow. And then when she's riding her bike, I guess home, the guy on the scooter like speeds past her, and she's like, "Damn, I'm jealous." And then she goes to I guess like a motorcycle shop, um, and she's looking at all the motorcycles, right? And they're like super expensive. Like I think the cheapest one there was like 200k yen,
Mhm.
which it's a hefty amount of change for a high school student. Um, And she's like, "Well, never mind." And then the shop owner comes out and he's like, "Are you looking for something?" She's like, yeah, but I can't afford any. And then he brings out this, I guess, used um, Super Cub.
Right.
And he goes, it's 10,000 yen. And I was like,
That is a
holy
lemon if I've ever seen one.
shit.
That is scary.
That is the
Yeah.
most lemon shit I've seen in my life. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's like, she like sits on it and she's like, I'll take it. And then shop owner's like, he like looks away nervously and she's like, why is it only 10,000 yen? And the shop owner goes,
It's cursed.
3 people died.
Oh my god, it is.
What the fuck?
Nice.
And she's like, I don't care. I'll take it. And he's like, okay. And then like as she's like going to buy it, she's like, wait a minute, I don't have a license. And then the shop owner gives her like his book, and he's like, the license is super easy to get. They never change the question. And you know, I guess it like flash forwards, and she gets her license. And then she goes back to the shop, and then the shopkeeper basically like tells her how to use the bike, gives her a free helmet and gloves, and then pretty much the rest of it is just like super slow, like just shots of her riding her bike.
Yeah, now everything's in color, by the way.
Yeah, and then every time she sits on the bike and starts the engine, all the color comes in. Which
It's pretty
It's a
great, honestly.
it's a little silly, but
It's cheesy, but it's good.
it is a nice touch. Just to be like, just to show how like enamored she is with the bike. And there's a couple of scenes of her like just basically staring at her bike and being like, yes.
Yes.
She cleans it, does stuff like that, and then she realizes she doesn't have a bike lock for like the bike. And so I guess she goes out to the store at like night. And then when she gets to the store, she like runs out of gas. And she has to like open up the the user manual to realize that she's out of gas. And then she figures out that there's like the reserve tank that you can switch on. And then she goes and gets gas, and she has to open up the manual again to figure out how to open it up so you can put gas in it. But yeah, it is a extremely chill series. There's like almost like no music in this.
Yeah, it's pretty much reveling in the natural noises of what's going on,
Yeah.
which is very rare.
Yeah, the noises of like the sound, like just the sounds around her. The shitty like limp engine that's in her like used Super Cub. But yeah, like I think the only songs I remember is the fact that they play Claire de Lune while she's riding her bike around,
Right.
and the
Like a
ending
loon,
song.
what?
It's a common enough
Yeah,
classical piece.
but
Like Debussy? I know that guy.
yeah,
See,
but yeah, I don't really know what else to say about the series other than the fact that like I did not expect this series to be so like insanely mellow. Like it's probably one of the chillest like series I've ever watched. Like
I just hope that it become again. It's very like the way. Okay, so what is it? The way, first of all, the way that it went from like super muted and everything's blah, 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 to like kind of shiny. It kind of reminded me of what is it? The Anthem of the Heart. Kokoro ga Saki
yeah,
Katerunda, right? Where the voice kind of like there was that sort of transition point. Um, and then as we talked about, the general pacing and the whole like, oh, this I like this quiet hobby, and just gonna hit it up with my gang of schoolgirls also with motorcycles, and we're just gonna go out. It kind of reminds me a lot of the pacing and everything, and the general tones and context. Kind of remind me a lot of Tamayura and Near Agreed, but I think the thing with Tamayura was that it started out with a very quiet premise, right? Because it's freaking like it's like quiet photography, right? Essentially, and then but it also had like the girls, right? So it's trying to do this weird thing where they were like, "Oh, girls talking with each other and being like, wow, blah 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 blah," and then but then they were like counterbalancing, not even counterbalancing, they were like having like conflicts with that level of energy. Like that sort of like girls doing something like, man, we're acting cute and doing all this was like energy level was like up here. And then what they were actually talking about and doing and like all the music and audio visuals and everything, right? Was like the energy level was way down here, right? Here.
Yeah.
You remember that how that, yeah. So I don't think that mixed very well, but I think this one they're probably intending to keep it very like low energy, even lower energy than something like Camp. Just super low energy, which I think works.
I hope so. Like if the interactions
Or like,
between
yeah, it's like
um
comedic, like blah 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 blah. Yeah, if
yeah,
it's like that.
like I hope it's not like it doesn't try to do like like high energy like weird comedy stuff
Mhm.
later on. But like if we're judging by how the pacing went with the interaction between what's his name, Koguma, and like the motorcycle shop dude,
Mhm.
like I can see it remaining like really mellow.
Right.
Because that like that conversation like they have, it's like it's almost like alarmingly like slow. Like it's like damn, like people don't really talk to each other like this, but it's like this is so chill that I don't really care. you
Right.
know?
Exactly. Exactly.
Um,
The idea is just to just take a breath, right?
yeah, yeah, it's super nice. Um, in terms of audio visuals though, I will say the CG is kind of not good. Um, there's a couple shots where like she's taking corners on her bike.
Yeah, yeah, the
Uh,
beginning scene, right, where it's like
yeah, and
everybody,
there's
yeah,
like there was literally zero animation. It's basically just like a static model
yeah,
moving along
exactly,
a rail.
and rotating,
Um,
right, exactly.
yeah, it's not great. Um, but as far as I'm aware, the Super Cub itself uh is entirely CG, like in all the shots. I
Mhm.
think. Um, but that looks pretty solid. Um, but yeah, audio visuals. I mean, the art style is pretty nice. I think the muted colors really help. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, another thing I do like is that when they do the when like she turns the engine on the bike and like the colors like come in, it's very subtle, right? Like the colors just pop in.
Mhm.
Um, it's
It's
not
like a
like some
blooming. It's like
yeah,
blooming.
it's not like something where like sparkles fly around and
Yeah,
you know
usually what happens is like sparkles happen like
yeah,
boom
like
from the character, or like it'll do
it'll
like a layer, it'll flip layer. It'll do like
yeah, it'll do like
go
it'll
across the
it'll
screen.
like it'll like zoom in on the character's face and like their hair will get blown back and it's like oh my god, man. Like with this one it's just like she turns the engine on, bam, colors pop in. It's really nice. Subtle. Obviously, probably saves quite a bit of time.
Mhm.
But like I appreciate it.
Right.
Uh, yeah, it's a good show. Um, I didn't expect it to be. I didn't expect it to like it this much because like
Oh,
when
me
we
neither.
when we covered this, I was like this is probably gonna be like
Like
really
Tommy, yeah,
dumb. Like this is
yeah,
probably gonna be dumb. It's probably gonna be like really like motorcycle nerdy like trivia stuff. Um, but like it kind of just goes at this really slow pace, and it just kind of lets you drink it all in.
right.
Um, and it's really cool. I like it quite a bit.
Yeah, I really did too when I went through it. It was like, oh, I didn't expect the mellowness to work out properly. It took us as a like WandaVision, yeah, pretty much like that. But yeah, I didn't.
So Sunny, do you know what Wangan Midnight is?
No.
What? You never heard of the Devil Z? The Fair Lady Z S30Z, which
Oh.
also what?
Yeah. Okay, this.
Is
Yeah,
this
what about it?
is this like Wangan Midnight but more chill? Because like in Wangan Midnight, they spend like 10 to 15 minutes of the episode just driving down a straightaway with just the not Eurobeat blaring in the background. It's like that's cool, I guess.
No. I would say the pacing of this series is basically like you know the scenes in Nun on Biori where it's just like scenery? Like
Yeah.
it's basically like this that's the pacing of the show. It's like it's just scenery.
So like Eurocamp,
but slower.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's good.
I still want. So it's only been one episode, right?
Yeah.
Do you think they'll delve deeper into this cursed motorbike? This sounds like some juicy character development.
I mean, I feel like the thing of like, oh yeah, the bike, like somebody died on the bike or whatever, like, or the bike was in a crash and it killed people, is kind of just like just a weird reason for like a high school student to be able to afford fucking
It's
like
it's
motorbike
just
like
it's
that.
just to railroad the premise a little bit on.
Yeah,
That part doesn't.
they might go into something later on where it's like, yeah, like bike like breaks down. But I don't think they're gonna be like, yeah, it's cursed.
Yeah, it's prepping them for the Jujutsu Kaisen crossover.
Yeah, but
I don't
yeah,
know, man.
I think it's just an excuse for the bike to be as cheap as it is.
Remember we had that airsoft show, and then she had to channel the spirits of her Japanese ancestors into it, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, I have a feeling this show probably won't go down that, but who knows?
Anyways, any last words here?
Not really. The show's pretty good. Check it out. I think it's
Alright.
definitely a sleeper hit.
I get it.
Definitely agree. And with that, last but not least, oh, by the way, the anime again is Super Cub. That's CUB Cub. You did not hear me wrong, but anyways, last but not least, Dark. What do you have for us?
Oh boy. What do I
Boy,
have?
it's a good. You should be. Hey, if you don't, you're about to get
Sentouin Hakenshimasu. Let's just get that part over with really quick.
Sentouin Hakenshimasu, or
All right, now go
Combatants will
on.
be dispatched. Yes. Yeah. Again, Dark said, he's covering a Sentouin Hakenshimasu, or Combatants will be dispatched, and it is done by none other than the author behind the Konosuba light novels. So, Dark, remember, we got to be positive about this, okay? We gotta be
Yeah, okay.
optimistic.
So here's the thing, right? What were the other ones? It was Konosuba and like what was the other one called? Kimono Mask or whatever?
Yeah.
So I quite liked both of those series.
Yeah.
Obviously. From what I've said on here about them. And this one fucking like I don't even know really where to start. It's bad. Like it's a piece of shit. Like I'm not gonna mince fucking words. This was
Dark, about to get hate mail here.
this fucking like actually like actively ruined my day. Like this took the winds out of my fucking sails.
Retroactively made Konosuba worse.
No, it makes him way fucking better because it's like,
That's
damn.
true.
It's like this humor being done actually well. Fun and not fucking stupid. So the series is about like. First of all, it's fucking hard to even know because they really don't even introduce it properly, like in the beginning. Like you're kind of just thrown into it, and there's just people talking, and you're like, who the fuck are any of these people? But don't worry, they'll state their name and occupation directly to the main character in about 5 minutes or less. So that's
Yeah,
always a great sign when we're opening
it's
with
just like
that.
I'm this person, I'm this person, I'm this person, I'm this person, and then boom, they're off into the comedy.
Yeah, it's
That's
really
actually
fun.
what happens.
My favorite part about Konosuba was the breakneck opening, and where it says, "Hi, I'm Kazuma," and then Aqua walks up to him directly and says, "It's me. Don't you remember the goddess Aqua, water and stuff, and alcohol? Isn't that funny?" And he says, "You're right, boob." And then we move on to the next scene.
It's very. I was talking about Dark. I was talking about this with Dark before this, but essentially Konosuba works on like 1.5 layers of what they're trying to juggle. Right? They're trying to juggle 1.5 balls, which is one is the contrarian like slapstick sort of comedy layer, right? And then the 0.5 on top of that is sort of this um, relatively minimalistic character development that sort of helps sort of add flavor, right? It's like a salt on top of the dish. It's like add flavor to the what's going on with regards to the comedy, right? It's like how do I say this? Konosuba also still. I know people are like, oh, but then they also have their romance triangle, blah blah. But if you actually think about it, the character development in the actual amount of character development in Konosuba is also pretty minimalistic. I want to say, and kind of again, the effect is to enhance the comedy that exists.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Konosuba is like more so than character development. It's more like plot development. Like shit, things happen to them,
Right,
and they
right.
accomplish
More and
things.
more things
There might be
happen.
like a
Yeah.
small change that like lets them more accomplish those things, but it's not really anything that fucking crazy. At the end of the day, they're still going to run the same gambit later on.
Right, exactly. And now the problem here is,
And it's fun,
that
like, but you're introduced to these characters like slowly over time. For one, two,
there is actual characters and
there's
character
also a
development.
reason for like Kazuma to be the way he is.
That's true. Yeah.
Like
It's
there's
much more
like
organic.
it's not like unreasonable in the very beginning for him to be like essentially angry at Aqua because he's like,
Right.
what the like why do I have to now go to this like fucking fantasy world just because you say so?
Right.
It's like, well, if I'm gonna go there, may as well bring you. But I don't know. Like, it's just like this main character is just so fucking annoying and unlikable and just obnoxious. I mean, it'd literally be Kazuma if like he was just there was no precedent for him to be like kind of an ass.
Mhm.
And if he like was that way from the very beginning, just an absolute fucking maniac, essentially.
Right. Just go
Um,
full like.
Now you could
full
say
steam.
like, oh, these characters have history with each other. I don't know what that is yet.
Yeah, exactly. You have to tell us. You have to
And
show us.
also, yeah, you have to show us, more importantly, not tell us, because we get told a lot.
Right.
I'm
apologize,
told
yeah.
in the very beginning that the girl, the ice one, has a name. I don't remember it, but the fire one I remember is Belial. And it's like, I'm Belial, the fire lord. In like mid conversation, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, like we have magic powers. And then it's just like they try and do like some comedy shit with that, and then I'm just like, but why do I care? Like,
Right, exactly.
I'm Belial. Who the fuck cares? Like, I don't give a shit. Like, you're not doing anything. You're standing in a fucking space station. Like, cool. And then they proceed to introduce like a doctor character and then an android.
Small
Alex.
characters.
Yeah, so all of those characters, and then they proceed to fucking just beam them down to the planet anyway. So remember Belial and apparently Astaroth? You won't, because they're gone for now. And then they just it's just bullshit on the planet. Like there's a really shitty looking fight with like fucking lizard things, and he has a gun, so he shoots them. And then the knights are like, "Wow, that's crazy." There's a fucking city they're gonna like try and take over, but I think it's like they don't have enough fucking evil points to summon something, so they're gonna try and like weasel their way in. Essentially. By the way, that's another thing too. The way the characters are introduced are the same way like other plot points are introduced. Like he's like, I don't have enough fucking evil points, and then the android looks at him and is like, don't you even know what evil points are? Evil points come from the chip implanted in every person's brain that works at the company that we work at, and blah blah blah. And then that goes on for like a fucking minute, and then he's like, of course I know what they are. I'm not stupid. I'm like, there is a way. There are better ways to do this, or don't do it at all.
Yeah, this sort of.
First of all, I don't need to know about fucking evil points if you're not going to use them. Like, there is
here's
here's
the exposition of the world. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, here's these evil points. Here's what they do. By the way, we don't fucking have enough to do anything with them anyway. It's like, so why tell me about them?
It's like how in isekai series, they just have random like details about random stuff in like feudal fantasy, but like this is worse because they pretend like that's central to a plot.
Yeah,
but it's
they
not.
pretend like it's like not like this is only going to appear with these characters because they're the fucking evil corporation. So it's not like I need to know this coming up for when the fucking knights show up to talk about evil points or use evil points, because they don't fucking work on that. Like,
Right.
it'd be like in Konosuba if fucking Kazuma just started like mouthing off on fucking, I don't know, like non-isekai shit, like worldly shit, where
like
he just starts
Japanese kind of stuff. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
talking about like fucking a Japanese 7-Eleven or something, or like
Right,
Lawson,
exactly.
and it's like, like, we don't need to know that right now. It's not important. It's like, yeah, I have mortal points in Konosuba. What do they do? Nothing. Okay. Thanks for the explanation.
I think it's
And it's like they try and use it as a comedy point, but it's like when it doesn't matter, it's not funny. Like, it doesn't. The fact that he doesn't have enough comedy points because he he doesn't have enough evil points because he fucking spent it all on porn or something is like, okay.
like, okay, sure.
Oh man, this guy buys porn. That's so weird. Like,
as I said, I think the average IQ of the Konosuba fan would probably appreciate it a little bit more, but I think
I don't know. I see, like, I know it like it has a 7 on malt, but I feel like even like people who like Konosuba aren't getting what they like about Konosuba out of this.
It's too much. Yeah, it's
too much. Way too much. It's like if you just took out like all of the. I know it's like we talked about like character development not being integral, but it's like if you take out that, if you take out.
Again, it's like taking salt out of a dish.
Most of the
taking salt out of a dish.
Like,
you're
just trying to eat like the fucking seasonings, and it's like, well, that's not gonna taste very good.
or you have a dish with like the character development is like in a Konosuba, it's like the salt, right? It really kind of enhances the flavoring of what's going on. But then if you're not doing it, you're just like, oh, here's just comedy. Here's comedy. Here it is, and you're like, okay, and. The
or
point,
like not even like the salt. Like if we want to use a food analogy, it could be even something like more integral to like fully complete this thing, because everything else would be way too fucking overpowering. Like, and the comedy is because it's like there's no reason for this character to be this way other than it's like I'm evil.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I work for an evil corporation, so I like boobs. Did you know that one? I want to
I
touch
think.
them. And like that's the comedy for the entire episode. By
Yeah,
the
the
way,
comedy
Like,
is not
that
very
comes up
impressive.
maybe 4 times within the first like 3 minutes of the show, and it's
Honestly,
like,
honestly, it's kind of like almost the opposite of like, what is it? Fucking, what was the? Why can't I remember the name? The annoying like Kohai or whatever, right? Well, the gray hair girl. You know what I'm talking about, right?
oh yeah.
The what was that anime again? With the big
Fucking
tits or
Sugoi
whatever, right?
Dekai. Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever. Like, you know which one.
yeah. um, yeah, Uzaki-chan, right? Uzaki-chan, right? So it's almost the opposite of Uzaki-chan because like in Uzaki-chan they start up with like the boob premise and then like or like you think they go for the boobs a lot more, but then they don't. They keep just showing the face and you're like, huh, that's not what I expected. It's like the opposite of that. You're like, why they just keep going for the boobs for zero reason. You're like, okay, I guess this is a thing now. Um and also the sort of summarizing point that I want to say was that for me, in the end, this series is too high paced and too tightly wound up in terms of like it always wants to like ram this comedy right up your ass like all the time. It's just like here's comedy, here's episodic comedy, here's slaps, here's comedy, here's contrarian comedy, blah 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 blah, and it's the comedy sure can act as a base, but it needs to be enhanced with other stuff. Like it needs to be enhanced with proper exposition of the characters. It needs to be enhanced with proper development of said, characters that went through the exposition and so on and so
Yeah.
forth.
And also I should say too, it's not even so much that like comedy as a whole needs that. It's this like
Yeah,
attempt
the
at,
way
like
that this guy's writing it.
very
Yeah.
contrarian, either contrarian or like just straight up like fucking like lewd comedy. Need a lot more there because
Yeah.
it's based around knowing the characters.
Right,
Like the whole
Yeah.
point is knowing all these things, but we don't. Like we don't know shit. And it's like characters are just fucking speaking to the screen for like minutes at a time. Like, damn, man. I mean, I was messaging Spire, like, I got 3 minutes in and I was like, I want to stop. Like, I feel like I've watched an entire episode of something already. Like, it's fucking exhausting.
It's extremely unfortunate.
Because it's just like, it's nonstop, like, just absolute fucking nonsense. And I don't know, it's just like, yeah, the characters aren't that interesting. The setting isn't interesting. The initial premise, like, could have been interesting. But I think it's a very funny and like kind of fitting theme. I wouldn't even say theme. Maybe it's ironic. No, fitting. That they go to the planet and the first thing you're introduced with is a fucking barren brown desert. The most uninteresting fucking visuals you could possibly imagine.
Foreshadow. It's an allegory.
And it's just like, yeah, it's just like, wow, this is extremely fitting for what I'm fucking seeing right now. Like zero substance. Nothing going on.
It's the foreshadow. It's the unconscious that foreshadow.
And then just like throwing a bunch of stupid fucking lizards at you because it's like, yeah, that's exactly how I feel. I'm just carving through a horde of nonsense.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it sucks. Like audio visuals are just unremarkable. Like they're sub Konosuba, sub was it Kimono Mask? Like just yeah, it's definitely the worst one there. It looks pretty flat. Yeah, it's just not great. Not good either. Bad even.
Dare I
Um,
say, not worth 7 on Mal?
Absolutely fucking not, dude. I got 3 minutes of this and I was like, there's no way. Like, there's no way this has a good score on Mall. And sure enough, I go to it. It's fucking like 7.2. I'm like, dude, this fucking thing
You
is like a
expected too much.
4. Like, at
Yeah.
best, like, this should have like a fucking 4. Like,
Mal,
it's not funny. I
the
laughed harder
fount.
with X-Arm. Like, just fucking watch X-Arm if you want to, like,
Yeah,
have a
honestly,
laugh.
X-Arm is like
goddamn,
bad enough
dude.
to actually laugh at. This one is
Yeah,
just
it's
bad.
so this is just not fun, not good. Like, unfortunately, like, I was not anticipating this because I was like, you know, third time's definitely not going to be the charm for this guy. Like, in
Yeah.
that, like, I like Konosuba, I like Kimono Mask. There's no fucking way this is gonna like nail it. I just wasn't confident in it.
You weren't confident that lightning could be captured in a
About
bottle
to
3
strike
times.
fucking 3
Yeah,
times.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
it's not. That shit ain't happening. And it's like to compare it to even like Kimono Mask. Kimono Mask does basically the same thing that Konosuba does. Like, it introduces the characters way slower. It shows you the premise. It gives you like a one-on-one first. So like MC, I forget everyone's fucking names in that show. It's been a hot minute. The MC, he meets like the like white-haired wolf girl, and you think she's gonna like, you know, she's like a piece of shit in the beginning. Like, she's trying to like hustle people for money. She's trying to do all these things, and then it's like one of the funnier parts of the show is that over time, more characters get introduced that are just like fucking worse and worse, and she's the one trying to hold things together, and like
Right.
winds up being the most responsible one. And like that was a funny point.
And it's a build-up. It's like a proper build-up.
Yeah, it's a really built up like thing. And it's not, and even Konosuba like doesn't throw the comedy at you just for the sake of it, really.
Mhm.
Like, it doesn't just start spitting out fucking like random shit. Like, it at least sets it up first. It has the audacity to have a
decency,
setup for a punchline. God forbid we have that.
Gotta get to the comedy, bro.
Yeah,
No
we
time.
gotta get to the punchline immediately. Like,
No time for this shit.
yeah, I have no time for a fucking setup. I'm just gonna tell you the end of the joke, okay? But yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, shit, I could go on forever about how much I fucking dislike this show. I don't remember music even being in it. There might be.
There could have been audio visuals. It doesn't really matter.
I mean, there was certainly audio, like characters were fucking speaking. Was there music? I don't remember. So that's nothing to write home about. Visually, like I said, unremarkable. Like, saw both of those. It's not like the visuals aren't like horrendously bad, but they're not. They're the weakest, and I wouldn't say they're very good. I don't think they're even like going by mall standards, like a 7.0 like visual. Like, I would say this is probably like a 5 or a 6 visually at most. It's very flat.
Mal always the best arbiter.
Very good.
Mal is always the best arbiter of anime ratings.
Yeah, I mean,
definitely.
I think I think it's a good way to gauge things sometimes. It's fun to look at, fun to see.
Yeah, fun is definitely a word I would use for it.
Yeah, goddamn, like shame maybe.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate.
I mean, yeah, it's unfortunate that it's like, you know, people who like Konosuba and shit, like, I would assume this isn't a third one for them. Like, even though like Nir had mentioned, it has a 7, but there's also 0 written review. So
nobody wants to speak out for it. Yeah.
Yeah, no one wants to point out what's so good about this. But you know, hey man, maybe for the first time, I might, crack the knuckles a little bit and get in there and write my first ever mall review. Give this thing like a fucking 0.
0.
Yeah. I go on a scale of watch to don't watch, and this is a don't watch.
Anyways,
To
again,
say to close, is it possible for it to get better over time? Absolutely fucking not.
no, I watched it. No,
That ship
no.
has sailed. Like, it's gone. You've introduced like fucking 9 characters in episode 1 horrendously. I have no faith in it.
It's not gonna happen. Nope.
Maybe the
Nope.
source material is better. Who the fuck knows? I don't. I might check that out to see if it's because if it is paced the same on paper, it will be probably worse. I'm really curious to see that. Because if it's paced slower and like actually properly introduces characters and this was like all just randomly like truncated, like maybe it has a slower opening where it properly introduces like the evil corporation and stuff. But if not, this would be horrendous on paper because reading it, you'll probably think you're fucking skipping pages.
Yeah.
I mean, like really, you'll be like, wait, who are these people? Like, okay, so this person's introducing themselves, and then you flip the page, and immediately, like, the next page is another character introducing themselves in the same manner. Like, okay.
Oh, very unfortunate that the Konosuba author could not capture lightning in a bottle 3 times, but this sort of thing.
This series is this Gaia, but worse.
I can't speak on that.
Anyways, thank you, Dark, for covering Sentouin Hakenshimasu, also known as Combatants Will Be Dispatched by the Konosuba author. And with that, we are moving on quickly to news. We have quite a lot of news from this past month-ish. I'm going to be going through them pretty quickly, so I apologize if I'm just kind of skipping over some sort of content. First off, awards. The Kyoto Prefectural Government awarded Kyoto Animation's Violet Evergarden, the movie anime, with a grand prize, Kyoto Governor's Award, for its 3rd annual Kyoto Digital Amusement Award on Tuesday. Surprise! To highlight the works of young creators. The Kyoto government launched the Digital Amusement Award in 2018 to highlight the works of young creators in Kyoto. And Kyoto Works won it. Prize.
Wow.
Next, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences announced the nominations for the 93rd Academy Awards on Monday. No anime films received nominations in the animated feature film category. However, none of them were received nominations in the anime feature film category. Very unfortunate, I'm sure all the Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba fans are crying. Next, this is the list of the full 14th Manga Taisho Awards. Again, I point this out every year. They, bookstore owners and the like, kind of go over this list of, manga that really drew their attention and they really liked. So this award by them. And if you do like more sort of niche manga that might give you a decent amount of reading value, you might check this out instead of just going for the mainstream stuff every time. Let's see. So final results. I believe number 1. Oh, so they did like point-based thing. Okay. So number 1, Freerun Beyond Journey's End by Kanehito Yamada, Tsukasabe. 地球の運動について by Uto. Third place, Karaoke Iko by Yama Wayama. Fourth place, 水は海に向かって流れる by Retto Tajima. Number 5, Oshinoko, Akasaka Aka, and Yokoyari Mengo. Number 6, Kaiju number 8 by Matsumoto Naya. Number 7, Onna no Sono no Hoshi by Wayama Yama. Wow. Two award winners on here. Number 8, BL Metamorphosis by Tsurutani Kaori. Number 8, Kowloon Generic Romance by Jun Maizuki.
I really want to read this one.
Yeah. And last, Spy Family by Endo Tatsuya. So please do check these out. You know, they might be something that you might enjoy, and again, aren't just like the front page stuff every time. Next, surprising exactly nobody, the Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the movie Mugen Train anime, won Animation of the Year award at the 44th Annual Japan Academy Film Prize on Monday. The other nominees were Violet Evergarden, the movie, Propel of Chimney Town, Stand By Me, Doraemon 2, and Josie, the Tiger and the Fish. Really? What? All right, well, sure. Next, 45th Annual Kodansha Manga Awards. So this is a little bit more mainstream stuff here. Best Shonen Manga goes to Fire Force by Okubo Atsushi. Frieren, Beyond Journey's End, Kanehito Yamada and Tsukasabe. That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Kawakami Taiki. Blue Lock by Kaneshiro Muneyuki and Nomura Yusuke. Best Shoujo Manga, Defying Kurosaki-kun by Makino. A Condition Called Love by Morino Megumi. Oh, Morino Megumi, okay. Honey Lemon Soda by Morita Mayu. I've heard of Morita Mayu too. And A Sign of Affection by Morishita Su. Best General Manga goes to I Want to Hold Aono-kun So Badly I Could Die. What is this? Aono-kun ni saoritai kara shinitai by Shiina Umi. Sweat and Soap by Yamada Kitetsu. And Hakuzume, Koban Joshi no Gyakushu. Hakuzume, A Police Box Woman's Counterattack by Yasumiko. Futari Solo Camp, or Solo Camping with Just Two of Us by Devata Yudai. And Yuria Sensei no Akaito, Mysterious Red Thread of Fate, Kyuba Irie. So please do check that out if you want to check out some new recommendations. Again, these awards, you know, they're not, I mean, some of these are mainstream, yeah, like stuff like Firefox, so on, but, you know, a lot of these, you know, especially the Kodansha stuff, but more so the stuff like Manga Taisho, a lot of them are picked by people who are really just into like finding the good stuff, finding the diamond in the rough and so on. So please do check these out. Some news from Yen Press. Yen Press publisher and managing director Kurt Hassler stated in an interview with ICV2 published on Friday that 2020 was a record year for Yen Press. Surprise!
Whoa.
Hassler added that the manga market took a significant hit in the second quarter of 2020 due to the new coronavirus disease, and then took a significant upswing last summer, and by fall, the company experienced sales significantly higher than 2019. Yeah, I wonder why. Anyway, going through some company stuff very, very quickly on Netflix front. First, Netflix has signed their first long-term contract with Japanese 3D CG studio Digital Frontier in order to work on visual effects, doing live action, you know, CG stuff, so on and so forth. Digital Frontier has worked on stuff like Bleach, Inuyashiki, Death Note, Gantz, Resident Evil, a bunch of stuff. Netflix has also contracted with Toho Studio facilities in Tokyo in order to lease 2 of its stage facilities in Tokyo starting on April 1st. Netflix's first production there will be the live-action series based upon Togashi Yoshihiro's Yu Yu Hakusho manga. So,
Does anyone even remember Yu Yu Hakusho?
A lot of people.
It's all about Hunter x Hunter now.
All right, next on the Bushiroad front. Frontwing Lab, the parent company of media company Frontwing, announced on Tuesday that media company Bushiroad has acquired a 50.625% controlling stake in the company Frontwing, now a subsidiary company of Bushiroad. So this is a pretty interesting way to go about things. I don't know what this means for Frontwing. Well, Frontwing has been growing bigger, anyways, but I don't necessarily like the way that I don't like this news in terms of how visual novels might come out from. We'll see. Next, media company Bushiroad also reported its second quarterly financial results on March 16th, reporting an increase in revenue from the previous period. However, the company reported lower revenues from its smartphone games, television anime productions and events sector. The latter are largely due to the new coronavirus disease pandemic, blah, blah. The company reported a 158 million yen operating profit quarter, a 7.1 decrease from the previous period, and an ordinary income, blah, blah. So, the company's acquisition of the Hikosen Theater Company from last year, Jesus Christ, and the company's continuous postponement of shows in the past year has led to a 191 million yen net loss for Pushiro. Jesus Christ, if there was a worse time to pick. They bought a company, they bought a theater company just in time for the pandemic. Oh my
yeah.
god. That was, I feel so bad for them actually. Anyways, next. Wit Studio of Attack on Titan fame established a stop-motion studio with Pui Pui Molcar puppet series director Tomoki Misato Tomoki on December 2020, and the studio unveiled a stop-motion anime promotional video called Candy Carries on Wednesday, and they're doing more stop animation stuff, and they're recruiting for it too. Nexon is announced on Monday that it has invested about $874 million or $874 million US dollars into companies including Hasbro, Bandai Namco Holdings, Konami Holdings, and Sega Sammy Holdings. Nexon also invested in other companies, but the investments did not meet the company's threshold for disclosure. The company added that it had no intention of acquisition or activism through these long-term investments.
Why the fuck would you invest in Konami right now? They're making like a lot on
Konami makes
Pachi right now?
pachinko.
I
I mean, Konami makes a lot of shit.
yeah, they do. They have
Besides pachinko, they make fucking like exercise machines.
There is
as well.
essentially a conglomerate.
Oh,
at this
really?
point. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're essentially a conglomerate.
Damn,
But, like,
okay.
another part of-
Actually, yeah,
part
if they make exercise equipment, now is a pretty good fucking time to invest. Like, pandemic's winding down. Gym's gonna be big, you know?
the Peloton has been buzzing on, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Anyways, on the Sony front, Sony Interactive Entertainment announced on Thursday that it had, on Thursday, 19th of March, that it and Endeavor-led venture RTS have acquired the Evolution Championship Series, or EVO fighting game tournament brand, along with its assets and properties from the Triple Profit Company operated by the EVO co-founders. And then also, on the other hand, technology website The Information reported on Wednesday the U.S. Justice Department has extended its antitrust review of Sony's proposed $1.175 billion US dollar acquisition of Crunchyroll from AT&T. The information notes that the review, which seeks to determine if the deal would give Sony dominance over anime streaming, could delay the sale by several months and could also potentially kill it. Oh, nice.
I mean,
the answer,
it should
the
not go
review,
through. Like,
yeah.
The answer is very obvious. Like,
Yeah,
you
the
really
answer-
don't need to investigate that hard to be like, wait a minute.
The thing is,
There are
how much
basically
Sony's
only two streaming, like anime streaming services, in the West, and
the
Sony
thing is-
owns one of them and is attempting to buy the other. Like,
yeah.
eh,
But what
The
about
interesting thing
Netflix and Hulu?
the interesting thing is,
What about Fizz?
Sony actually didn't really want to buy Crunchyroll that much at the beginning, right? That was how the discussions were, because like AT&T put up Crunchyroll for like an exorbitant cost, and Sony was like, "I don't know about that, bro." And then they
Yeah.
went to the negotiations.
apparently AT&T like specifically went to Sony and was like,
Yeah.
You want this?
Please buy this.
And they were like, haha, no.
Not at that price, bro. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it pans out. And the important thing is if Sony will even push back against it that much. Next,
Yeah.
on the other steering front, documents for the class action lawsuit that Janice Angeles, a legally blind person, filed against Funimation Global Group LLC in January revealed that the lawsuit was settled out of court. This is part of their settlement in the class action lawsuit over allegedly violating Americans with Disabilities Act. Very nice. Good job.
What did they do?
What is it? See, the lawsuit stated that Angelus was a quote unquote visually impaired and legally blind person who could not use a computer without the assistance of screen reading software and was proficient at using the non-visual desktop assets for screen reading software. Angeles reportedly visited the shop.funimation.com website on multiple occasions to make a purchase, but was quote unquote denied a shopping experience similar to that of a sighted individual due to the website's lack of variety of features and accommodations, which effectively barred her from being able to determine what specific products were offered for sale.
Now.
Oh, so apparently the site just had like shitty HTML coding.
Yeah, so it just couldn't be
so
read.
it didn't
Awesome.
jive with the program that she was using, the software she was using.
I guess like the text-to-speech software that they were using.
Wow, they got slapped with the class action lawsuit for having a shitty what? Get fucked, Funimation. I hope something like this happens with Crunchyroll.
Of all the things, too, it's a fucking blind person trying to buy anime merch. Like, there's not a lot there to buy.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's pretty funny.
Wow.
Anyways, they've reached the settlement.
Or visually impaired.
Visually impaired doesn't mean blind.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty funny. Get fucked, Funimation. That's pretty much it for the company news. Moving on to some other stuff. The Tokyo, this one is pretty big. Not big, but like pretty funny. More on the piracy front. Japan doing more funny anti-piracy measures as usual.
Damn, can't believe piracy's still around after all this. I thought they won.
Yeah, I thought the manhunt that they did with all the people manually searching on the internet to stop piracy, I thought that would work right now. But anyways, the Tokyo District Court ruled on Friday that unauthorized posting of manga dialogue text is considered copyright infringement. Shugakukan had requested information from a spoiler website server provider on a person who had posted nearly the entire dialogue text of a manga without authorization from January 2019 to May 2020.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. These people are fucking insane, though, too. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
I think it has to be a little bit more, because I think having this as precedent will be bad, right? Because it's like, it's one thing to like post an entire chat like this transcript kind of thing, that's no bueno. But like, if they're just like,
oh,
okay,
you posted like one screen cap of a line from this manga? Okay, sir, you're going to jail.
Yeah, exactly.
You're doing hard time, pal.
Yeah, exactly. So that'll be pretty interesting to see if it's any sort of precedent. And finally, on the some interesting like project stuff, Anohana 10-year anniversary. So they're probably gonna roll up some stuff for that. Penguin Drum also 10 years. I can't believe it's been 10 years since. Where has the time gone here? Jesus Christ. Penguin Drum.
Fire. You know what else is up 10 years old? Sword Art Online. Fate Stay Night.
Infinite Stratus is even worse than that. Yeah. Also, so Penguin Drum started up like a Kickstarter for some shit, and then to do like a film project, and that got funded in 3 minutes. So that was pretty interesting. And then second project, licensing Feng Studios visual novels. One pretty famous one is Akanedo Nisomarusaka. So that one is a pretty old one. And I'm kind of looking, man, I kind of hope that they translate the PS for the PlayStation, because the PlayStation version is the only one that has I forget if it was Nakamura Eriko. It was either Nakamura Eriko or Kugimiya Rie, but one of them had HCG's dialogue in the PlayStation version. So, but they don't in the PC version. Anyways, second project's on the hunt for more old time visual novels, so watch out for that. People news, going down the line real quick. Japanese publisher East Press revealed on Friday that manga creator Koko has passed away on January 15th due to illness. He was the manga creator behind the manga Noreinu no Ino, right, which I believe is a boys' love thing. Please wish condolences to his friends and family. Star Blazers voice actress Amy Howard Wilson has passed away. Please wish, on February 28th at the age of 65. Please wish her friends and family condolences. Studio reported on Tuesday, March 16th, that animator and character designer Minako Shiba has passed away. She did character designs in stuff like Noir, Black Butler, Hikaru no Go, Tsubasa Reservoir. A lot of these like sort of like thin line, thin face kind of stuff. Pretty big character designer, animator. Please, again, wish her family and friends condolences. Masahiro Anzai, voice actor, has passed away due to acute heart failure at the age of 66. He did stuff like Ryunosuke's father and Urusei Yatsura, Red Butler, Bakura and Sailor Moon, Midori Kisaragi and Magical Angel, Queen Mommy, Rossi and Romeo and the Black Brothers, Castella Danshaku and Soreike Anpanman, so on and so forth. Please wish family and friends condolences. 22/7, 7分の22, has the voice actors, one of the voice actresses behind that idol group / VTuber / anime group. Takeda Aina has returned from academic hiatus. Wish her the best of luck in her upcoming endeavors. The Chiba Prefectural Police filed charges against a 53-year-old man, what the fuck, on Friday for allegedly recording the Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba the movie Mugen Train anime film illegally at a movie theater with his smartphone. What the fuck? A 53-year... okay.
Stay winning.
Gotta get in on it, bro.
Do not record this shit. Don't do bad stuff. This is a big one. Voice actress and singer Chihara Minori posted her on her vlog on Friday that she will end her career as a singer at the end of the year, but she will continue her career as a voice actor. Chihara will perform a 2-day concert on August 7th and 8th. This is, she stated that she started to reconsider her future as she reached the turning point at the age of 40 during the coronavirus pandemic. So Chihara Minori, famous for playing, Nagato Yuki and Harui, Chiaki Minami, Minamike, a whole bunch of other obviously very big, she's a pretty big voice actress and even bigger singer. A lot of anime openings out there are done by her. So I guess, again, please wish her the best in her future endeavors. Although I have a slight suspicion that she'll probably return to a semi-singing career, a sporadic singing career, but that's just me.
They always do.
Next, this is happier news. Voice actress Ogata Megumi reported on Twitter on Sunday that she successfully underwent surgery for a herniated disc. She jokingly commented that she awoke from general anesthesia with a start similar to Shinji in Evangelion 3.0. You cannot redo, but without the DSS choker. So again, she is very big roles. Kurama in Yu Yu Hakusho, did Shinji in Evangelion, Sailor Uranus, and Sailor Moon, so on and so forth. It's great that she has successfully underwent the surgery. Best of wishes, Godspeed on fast recovery and so on. Tsurube Productions optical photographer Nakano Minoru has passed away at the age of 82 due to liver failure. Please wish. He did optical photography work on stuff like Ultraman, Ultra 7 Mighty Jack, so on. A lot of the old classics. Please wish his family and friends condolences. Another big singer news. The official website for singer Oishi Masayoshi announced on Tuesday that Oishi will undergo vocal cord polyp removal surgery and he will take a 1-month break from singing and some speaking activities beginning in late April. If you guys don't know who he is, if you've heard like a male singing an anime opening before, or even like general like Japanese J-pop, chances are you've probably heard of Oishi Masayoshi songs. Final piece of news. Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department arrested Kahadio, real name Shirai Kadio, the drummer of the band Ali, on April 4th on alleged special fraud charges. According to investigators, Kahadio received cash from ATMs as part of scam operations. So this was like some sort of like weird refund scams. And these scam suspects...
Damn it.
Suspects pose as officials and promise government refunds to unsuspecting victims if they withdraw cash from ATMs or provide their ATM cards to the suspects. So Ollie band, this band Ollie was uh, slated to perform for the opening for World Ends With You animation. They previously did stuff for Beastars, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Noblesse. Like they were going big. Like this they were going big, but unfortunate that this scandal happened.
Hope the rest of them don't get wrapped up in that, because
Yeah, that's
band's
big. I
fucking
mean,
tight.
they're on. Yeah. It's very unfortunate.
I'm reading the comments and it says it's either drug related or a little kid diddling. That's really behind this. So some of that.
Very unfortunate. And with that, we are done with the news. Try to go through it as quickly as possible, but there was a lot of good things that changed over the past month or so. And we are now at the shoutouts and callouts. Everybody gets one shoutout and one callout each. Shoutout is one thing that you want to praise to the heavens. 5 out of 5, whatever. It can be any person, place, or thing. And callouts is the exact opposite. Give 1 out of 5, 0 out of 5. Rage about it, rant about it, want to smash it underneath your foot, and it can't be all again any person, place, or thing. And we start with Nier.
Wow. Shoutouts, I guess, to yeah, it was April Fool's a little while ago, April Fool's Day. And there was a certain video that came out.
Oh,
And it was a crossover video between Fate Grand Order and Thunderbolt Fantasy. And if you don't know what Thunderbolt Fantasy is, it was Ken Noguchi, wasn't it?
Yeah.
His cool little pet project with marionettes, puppets, and they were doing sword fights and shit. And they did a fun little April Fool's thing where Saber was in Thunderbolt Fantasy, and they did a cool fight, and it was pretty awesome. It was pretty cool. It's fun when silly stuff like that happens. As for callouts, I'll probably call out. I'll probably call out the I guess the Ontario provincial government because like what is it, like fucking 4 days ago,
Right?
our I don't know what his like official title is, MP, I think. But basically, the guy that's in charge of the province, um, he did a press release speech thing, and he was like, yeah, starting tomorrow, everything is locked down. So literally no warning at all. We're entering yet another lockdown because
Always pleasant.
I guess the United States just absolutely refuses to give us any vaccines at all. So like we can't roll like anything out.
Sorry, we're putting vaccines in our hamburgers. So we
Yeah.
need them.
Listen, we need those vaccines so that we can shoot people up with them, and then they get shot next
Yeah,
week.
and shoot them up with some bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
United States is back, baby.
Yeah. It sucks. It's annoying. It's really really annoying. Constantly putting into like lockdown after lockdown, and like nothing is changing because we can't get vaccine. But whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Just fucking buy them, forehead.
We have.
Buy more.
Yeah, buy more. Buy all of them.
Yeah,
Buy every
except
single one
we
of them.
literally haven't gotten the vaccines we've bought because like the supply lines are all going towards the United States. Like,
Buy more supply lines, buddy.
yeah, not quite how it works.
Yeah, near just to just clog up the canals, just like what happened with that one ship.
Anyways, thank you, Nier. Dark, what about you?
I'm gonna do a shout out. Shout out to fuck, man. I don't know what. I'll just shout out Guild Wars 2. Well, we can talk about fucking Megalobox 2 some other time. Shout out to Guild Wars 2. I made my first season like 2 legendary, the Shining Blade. It's very cool. Grinded that shit out over the course of a couple of days now that my back has vastly improved. So yeah, that's that game's been fun.
Yeah. And your call up?
My call out, fuck it. You know what? We're doing government call outs. I'm calling out fucking hot take here, Mitch McConnell. I fucking hate Mitch
Politics guy.
McConnell.
Yeah.
You know, I know he's a really popular guy and all, but I don't really like him.
Surprise.
Yeah, real shocker. Nah, but seriously, like that fucking gay ass statement that he was like, "Oh, I don't think these, I don't think these corporations that you know might hire black people should have a say in any sort of say in politics, and we should be able to suppress those votes." But then immediately follows up in the same fucking conversation that, "Oh, I'm not talking about like, you know, donations or anything like that." It's like, yeah, of course you are, and you slimy fuck. Like, fucking hate that shit. It's so like just blatantly fucking stupid. Just like, if you're a person that eats that shit up, like fuck off. Like it's so goddamn like obvious as to what's going on.
It's very unfortunate that he
Stop
is
bending the
where
knee
he
to
is.
fucking corporations too, like and politicians, like government officials in that regard. Like, look at what they're doing. Like, if they're directly telling you now that like, oh, we like these things that donate us fucking millions and millions of dollars, like they should be hush hush when they don't like something we do, but they should continue to give us millions of dollars. By the way, that would be really cool. Like, come on now. Like, it can't be any
Yeah.
more obvious, but you know.
And very unfortunate. Toast. Shout out callouts, please.
A shout out. My shout out will be to Calliope Mori's new ED. I like Red. That's a good song. Yeah.
Okay, and your call out?
There's a physical CD for it, but neat. Kind of want that. I watched her. I was there with her Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore watch
I
along,
was
and that
gonna
was
say I'm not a fan of Calliope or her music, but I will say, goddamn, awesome fucking watch along of Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison.
The Room one was pretty good too. So check those out if you want to. Yeah. Next one. My call out.
Yes, call out.
Oh boy, here we go. My call out is to all that cancel culture that's been happening recently.
Okay.
Have you been not giving up with cancel culture, Spire?
I wouldn't say
Which
that
part?
I partake
Yeah,
that
you're
much
talking.
in-
There's two
Kind of
very
a very
different
broad
facets
term.
of this right now. That's
You're talking to the person that literally, like, I do not
Maybe
have
you
a
should.
Twitter
Maybe,
account.
Spire, Spire, you're not Korean. You're American now. You don't live in Korea. You should pay attention to American.
American culture, which
Yeah.
is cancel culture.
So which one were the ones that happened? Were that happening so far? There was Call Me Carson. Then there's that Game Grumps guy, and
That's not really
Who's-
cancel culture. Those were
Yeah, that's kind of like
those
the
were pretty bad.
consequences of
Danny's
people's
was pretty
actions.
bad. That wasn't cancel culture. Danny kind of didn't he
is
try
that the
like
Game Grumps guy?
yeah, I'm pretty sure he tried to fuck 17-year-olds. That's
Yeah,
not
that's pretty bad.
not kosher.
Well, which one was the one that was found innocent? Not was it? I forget. I forgot.
I think it was Carson. I'm
I
not
mean,
sure though.
People
But it also
didn't
depends
really
on what you
people didn't really
call
call
innocent.
people didn't really say like Call Me Carson was innocent. They just said that like the situation is like it's really weird because it's like the age difference isn't really that relevant. But the fact that it's with Carson's situation, it was the fact that like it was because like he was really young when that happened, right? And like the girl was like 17, so it was basically like Romeo and Juliet lost shit, right? Um, but the problem is the fact that like he was literally like basically just exploiting the fact that it was a van, right? Plus the age difference is what made the situation really, really weird. Like it's not like a one or the other thing. It's not like, oh, you're sleeping with a fan, or like, oh, you know, you're sleeping with somebody who's like technically underage, but you're like fucking 19. Um, it's like the combination of the two that made it like really sketch. But yeah,
But yeah,
Uh,
But
also
yeah,
Danny was like 30 something.
yeah.
So
but
it's
yeah,
a little bit
that
a little bit undeniable.
yeah, but get back to my point. Who cares about those guys? I don't. What I care about are these Vine sauce allegations that are happening about. I'm not gonna say any more
Vinny
about
of
it.
Vine Sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Vinny allegations are like
I'm Vine Sauce of Vinny.
clearly not real. So
I mean, it's very similar to it reads very similar to in like attempt as like the chilled chaos allegations from like fucking a couple months ago, where he was like he immediately chilled, just like, well, guess I'm lawyering up to have to sue someone now.
It's like, well, it's like, okay, here. Regardless of whether or not this is true or not, because this is still up in the air, I'm not gonna point my fingers at anyone anymore. The whole point is that most of these allegations are between consenting adults. Vinny has done nothing illegal, unlike some other people here. They're all within, they're all legal age. Of all asked consent and whatnot. Most of the stuff in the Google Doc 2 has been potentially debunked. Like the some of the emails sent were during a time he was streaming, and the email that was provided was his work email, which other people have access to. So a lot of this is super sketch, like in general. But even if some of whatever is real and what's not, the whole point is that this was a smear campaign on him, because Vinny's kind of a reclusive guy. He's never talked about his personal life, his relationship life at all, and whatever he's done with his fans or not. Reminder: they're all of legal age and not whatever. This is that's his stuff to deal with. That's his problem. You bring it into the limelight like this, that's just an invasion of privacy, and that's uncool, yo.
I mean, I think it depends too, because it's like I can see an argument being brought forward if it was like multiple of the people who, if he actually did like was essentially just sleeping with fans. It's like it depends on what the context of that is, because it's like, you could easily see a situation where, and I mean it has happened before, where even though it's like consenting adults, it is someone using essentially their internet like notoriety and trying to essentially bait people into thinking this is going to be like a relationship, and then they just like kind of move on to the next fan. So I think that there is like an argument to be made that there are times when like something like that is still pretty fucked up, but this doesn't seem to be like that situation anyway.
Anyways,
I mean,
yeah.
I know he's Vinny's gone out and said that this this has misrepresented him and he's lowering up. So in the meantime, no more Vinny streams because he's pretty hurt about all this stuff.
I mean, also you can't. It's hard to stream when you have to fucking like
The lawyer's probably
put
telling him
together
not to do any
like a
shit. Yeah.
case. Yeah, like yeah, I'm in the middle of a fucking case right now, but I'm
Just
gonna
gonna
live
keep-
stream where I can say anything and it will be right out there immediately.
I just wanted my fun. I want my funny Italian man Sunday streams, and now I don't get them anymore for an undisclosed amount of time because he has to deal with this whole smear campaign thing, and that's
If I
that's
had to
uncool,
bet,
yo.
it's gonna be a pretty short amount of time. If I had to take a wild guess, I think once like he lawyers up and everything, like people tend to very quickly realize that they can't just start throwing shit out there.
Oh.
Man, it's like whatever, man. This is between him and those girls, not us. They don't. What's if there was really a case? You don't bring this out on Twitter. You go to your authorities about this, but bring it on Twitter. That's just and there's something up that's going on here. We all see it, but well, whatever. I'm done with this topic until more info comes out. You can tell where I stand on this.
Again, it's very unfortunate that this sort of thing came to. Sometimes it's just, or not even sometimes, but it often does happen to people in the limelight. As for me, or also thank you to us for shout out and call out. My shout out and call out is pretty short. I mean, a shout out, I guess, to. Oh, I actually gave in and just got these kind of similar to I think what Dark said previous weeks. I kind of caved in and ended up getting these wireless Bluetooth earbuds, and they've been helping me quite a decent amount with regards to exercising and doing whatever without having to untangle earbuds and stuff all the time. So that's been pretty helpful. And a fucking huge call out to this Diet Cranberry juice I have next to me, this jug of Diet Cranberry juice. I mean, I do like cranberry juice, but it also makes me, it forces me to go to the bathroom like every 30 minutes. So fuck this shit.
This guy's old.
Yeah. Anyways, that's pretty much my pretty short shout out call out. And with that,
If Spire, let me introduce you to something called strawberry smoothies. If you need your fiber.
The reason why I'm drinking diet cranberry juice is not because I need fiber, it's because I'm on a diet. But
You know, cranberry juice has tastes like. Do you know why cranberry juice tastes like feet?
What?
You see that Ocean Spray commercial where those farmers are stomping cranberries with their feet?
I don't think that's. I don't think it. First of all, I don't think it smells like feet, and secondly, I know about the fruit stuffing thing, but
You
I
know,
don't
you
think
know,
that people do
Likely
it.
story,
Yeah.
bud.
you know what does taste like feet? Grape juice. I hate grape juice.
What are you talking about?
I've seen that grape stomping. You know that grape stomping
I
video
think.
where that newswoman falls down, makes those ugly noises.
Do you know that?
I think much of grape juice is
I
not.
don't like grape juice. I don't like wine. Give me orange soda instead. That doesn't taste like feet.
Okay. Anyways, that was my shout out call out. And with that, we are done with the podcast for today. Next week should be, or sorry, next podcast should be in 2 weeks. We'll have some more series coming up. Again, everybody this season at least seems to have their own sort of set of series full set of series that they want to watch. So we'll be going right through it with I think pretty minimal complaints for the most part. Sometimes we have to take bullets for the team one way or another, but I think it'll be pretty decent. It'll be a pretty decent season. And yeah, if you do like what we do here, we stream our podcast recordings live every other Saturday, starting from 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern Daylight Time, I guess. Over at twitch.tv/4PlayAnimecast. That's with a number 4. So check us out here. We have our recordings of the podcast highlighted in VOD format on the Twitch page, as well as on our YouTube channel, 4PlayAnimecast. So you can check us out wherever the archives. For more information and updates, please check us out on our social media on Facebook, 4PlayAnimecast, as well as on Twitter, handle at 4PPAnimecast, and all with the numeral 4. And with that, we'll see you next time.